Welcome folks, I'm Ike Eastman, your host today on Eastmans Hunting TV. And today we're gonna go to southern Wyoming where I've hunted for a lot of years. You may remember some of those old episodes with Mike where we would do the old guys versus the young guys. Well, the old guys have retired and it's just Corky and I this year. We're gonna hope to hunt mule deer in southern Wyoming and chase those ghosts of the prairie.
Yeah, he's 4-point. He's got decent main beams. He's just narrow. Really narrow. I think they went to bed. He's a good buck. He's just short on the 1G2. He's got eye guards. He's got decent mass. He's got decent main beams, actually. You think he's by himself?
While Corky and I scour the country to find a big mature buck, let's go back before the bad winters to a time when hunting big deer here was a lot easier.
Last morning in the hunt, and come up this valley, and there's probably 20 or so bucks up across this, but the heat waves are so bad you can't see. I've never seen heat waves this early in the morning. It's a kind of a, I think the air is kind of funny with the warm ground and cool air, and so we're just going to get closer and see if we can find one. There's 3 or 4, 5 bucks in there that are 4 points, one laying down that's really tall, so see if we get closer and see what happens. Well, we found the 2 cheater bucks and a really heavy buck. Again, this is the last morning. We've been looking for him for 4 days. It's kind of one of these things where you can go, well, which is better? It's kind of a personal preference, so we're gonna let him get up over the ridge and then see if we can sneak up there and either pick one or see which one gives us an opportunity. Alright, so we're gonna try and crawl up to this next piece of sagebrush and see if we can actually see him. It's only 200 yards. The problem is we can't see his body, only his head.
Oh my gosh. Last day of the last hunt. Oh my goodness. There's a rodeo. I didn't think they were gonna stand up. I thought this is how we're gonna get him up. Of course, we got Dan, the bow guy, with us. We can kiss him up, go, and they'll stand right up. I thought, yeah, right. They'll stand right up and go. It worked good. Let's go look at him. Jeez, look at those backs. He's a great deer. It's always fun down here. Corky and I bounce around and tell war stories from the previous year and make fun of the old guys. They're out trying to do something today. This is the last day, so they don't have much time left. If you're just joining us, welcome to Eastmans. We're in southwest Wyoming, pouring over country, trying to find one of the gray ghosts of the West, the mule deer. I think we found the buck, but he's really close to the fence line. It's a private chunk of ground that we can't hunt. So, kind of a cat and mouse game. We're just gonna play it out and see what happens here. He's a nice buck. Definitely a taker. If you're like this, that's a definite taker. Yeah, that's him. Now you look at him backward, behind. That's him. You know, you can look at him from behind. They're just gonna go in there and lay down. He's hit hard. Let's see if we can just give him some time. Welcome to Southwest Wyoming. You're watching Eastmans. Right before the break, I dropped the hammer on this really old, mature buck. Come along with me as we see exactly how heavy and how old he is. Should be right in here somewhere. Oh, I see antler. I see antler. Now that is a true Wyoming old survivor right there. Look how massive he is. Look at the mass on that. Old buck. My gosh, that's an old buck. We had a really hard winter here. He's missing teeth. We had a really hard winter here, and you know, one of the problems with the hard winters, you just can't find bucks. You know, they're just not in the density that we're used to down here. And this guy was with 7 other deer. I knew he was old, big old pot belly on him, big gray face and huge Roman nose. And you know, you get to the point where you're like, gosh, do we even want to shoot a deer? You know, there's the deer population down here is kind of struggling. And Wendell told me once, he says, you know, if you find a deer that survived that winter, probably ought to shoot him because they're probably not going to survive another one. And at least he'll make good table fare. It's what a beautiful buck, beautiful buck. I just couldn't ask for more. I bet he's my heaviest buck shooting down here. I mean, I can't get my fingers around him. Well, I just couldn't be more tickled. Just couldn't be more tickled. And look how big he is. Massive, these freaking G2s, I mean, these backs are just giant. I mean, look at that. Look at that. Just a giant, giant Wyoming mule deer. I just couldn't be more excited about this. Jeez. You like mass, Corky? He's got mass. Well, we found this buck this morning, and he's feeding along. First thing this morning, of course, he jumps onto some private property that we weren't able to hunt. And so we watched him feeding along the bottom of this hill, and we were hoping what they were gonna do, and they did. They came around the end of the hill, came back up the hill, jumped the fence, and we're headed to a grove for the day to bed. And as soon as he jumped the fence, I was able to put the hammer down on him, and it worked beautifully. Went into the grove, laid down, and I mean, he's just an awesome Wyoming, heavy Wyoming buck. After the winter they had down here, I'm just excited to be able to take one of these old battle axes. He's got some teeth missing. It's just a great buck. Thanks for joining me today. And remember, fair chase is the only way to hunt and take trophy big game. We'll see you next week right here on Eastmans.